Militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome to your devotees for making this very intelligent decision to come to a Bhagavad-gita class on a weekend evening. There are so many ways in which people can spend the Friday evening. And you have chosen to do the best possible way, choose the best possible way to spend it. So we are reading from which chapter of Bhagavad-gita?
Nine.
Chapter 9, your favorite, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Sukharupa. So, and which verse are we doing?
Second.
Second. All right. So let's see. Okay. So I'm just going to remove some of the things from here and try to put them on a separate window so I can see that here. Okay. This is my chat. I'm going to put that here so I can see that. Okay. So we will do the usual that we do, and that is we take one verse each and we start reading it. Right? So we will do that, and I'm hearing quite a few beeps. I'll check and add the names to the reading order. So I see Jyoti Mataji has joined and Garima has joined as well. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you for teaching us.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for giving us the wisdom. Okay, and then so I'm just going to start sharing my screen momentarily. I'm just putting the names there. Uttara Priyanka Sukumal Radhe, Kiran Khosla Parul, Sutapa, Sukharupa Varshana Jyoti, and Garima. Did I miss on anybody? I guess not. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to start sharing the screen, and in the reading order, in the order that we have mentioned, we will start reading it. And I also see Karan has joined us. Hare Krishna, Karan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sukharupa.
Mataji, I won't be able to read today.
You won't be able to read today?
Yeah.
Okay. We will then take you off the reading order here. But thank you nonetheless for joining us today. Okay, so Uttara Priyanka Sukumal Kiran, Parul Sutapa, Varshana, Jyoti, Garima, and Karan Prabhu.
I also cannot read. Mataji, I'm taking Arjun somewhere.
Okay, Arjun is with you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Uttara Priyanka Sukumal Kiran Khosla, Parul Sutapa, Varshana, Jyoti, and Karan. All right, so others get to read more from chapter 9, and in that reading order, we will take one verse each and read the translation in English, and we will start with Uttara. Is this readable, or should I increase the font?
No, it's good.
Increase the font, Mataji, that will be nice.
Increase the font? Okay, so by popular demand, we are increasing the font. Uttara, over to you.
Hare Krishna. Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence."
Priyanka?
This knowledge is the king of education and the most secret of all secrets. This is the purest knowledge because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. It is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it's a joyful performed.
Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world.
Hare Krishna Ji, by me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Hare Krishna Ji.
Hare Krishna, text 5. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me,
Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Take 6. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere, rest always in the sky, all created being rest in me.
Hare Krishna. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji, the whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. And under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Hare Krishna ji.
Can you read?
Yeah. Hare Krishna. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. Hare Krishna.
Sabodhani. Hare Krishna. Sabodhani? Is that you who joined? And can you read?
Cannot
Okay.
read, sorry.
Yeah. You cannot read? Okay, that's fine. Uttara, back to you.
Hare Krishna, this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again.
Priyanka.
Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme lord of all that be.
Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated.
O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Hare Krishna.
Text 14. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Hare Krishna.
Others who engaged in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form.
Hare Krishna. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji, I am the father of the universe, the mother, the sport, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also Rig, the Sam, and the Yajur Veda.
I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. Hare Krishna.
I'm trying to scroll. Okay.
Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me.
Priyanka?
Those who study the Vedas and drink Soma juice, sinking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of the sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy the godly delights.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense, pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Text 22. But those who always worship me and exclusive devotion, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Hare Krishna.
Text 23. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with the faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Text 24. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize me, my true transcendental nature, fall down.
Hare Krishna. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it.
Text 27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Hare Krishna.
28. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me, in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
Text 29. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in the devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also friend to him.
Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Hare Krishna.
Text 32. O son of Partha, those who take shelter in me.
O son of Pritha.
Pritha.
Son of Pritha. Yeah, son of Pritha is called Partha, right? Pritha is the mother, Kunti.
Oh, acha. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishya merchants, and Sudras workers can attain the supreme destination. Hare Krishna.
Text 33. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Hare Krishna. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I see Malamati ji has also joined us today. Malamati ji, happy to have you here. So now, what did we read?
Mataji, may I say?
Absolutely, yes, please.
Mataji, I love this chapter. Of course, I love Bhagavad-gita. But this chapter is a special chapter for me. And today, I realized this, that Krishna is our father, and he is teaching us that I have created everything and nothing binds me. And he's teaching us that I have left you in the material world. Everything is around you, but follow me. Don't get bound by the things.
Yeah, good observation. Good thing.
And then again he says in that 10th shloka, this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. And he is also warning us that it will be gone. So don't get attached to it. And in the last shloka, he says, Mataji, that pray to man manabha bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. Mam me veshyasi yuktevam atmana matparayana. Engage your mind always. I mean, ultimatum de diya. He has given the ultimatum that, my dear child, you think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance to me, worship me, and being completely come and surrender unto me. And he's giving the assurance that you will surely come to me. What else do we need, Mataji?
Yeah, all good points. And so what's the name of this chapter in English?
The most confidential knowledge.
Most confidential knowledge, right? And what did we read about this chapter in the last week? What was verse number 1? What did it say? You can open your books and see. It'll be a good recap.
Because Arjun is never envious of him, he is telling him the most confidential knowledge.
Right. So a couple of things to keep in mind is they're talking to Bhagavad-gita chapter 9 is the most confidential knowledge. And then also that anasuyave, that because Arjuna is anasuyave, he is not envious of Krishna. That's why he's telling. Yeah. Because if you're envious of Krishna, then how will you accept him as so supreme and so great that you're going to manmana bhakto madhyaji mam rabasku, you're going to do all of that to him, right? Yeah. And so isn't it interesting? So now this is a question for Sukomal Radhe Mataji. So Sukomal Radhe Mataji, Vachana mentioned that Krishna says that I have created everything, and Mata, Dhata, Pitama, and all that is there in that particular chapter. And but then he says, I'm not attached. Right? Now, this is one of the Aishwarya of Krishna, right? It's one of the opulences of Krishna, that he's the most opulent. So what are the opulences of Krishna, Sukumalade? English, you can give it to me in English.
No, I know the Aishwarya. Okay. Can you start me off then? Full wealth, beauty, renunciation, full wealth, beauty, renunciation. Which one?
Most knowledgeable, most famous.
Knowledge.
Most famous.
Which one?
Famous.
Oh, how did I forget? I don't know.
Okay, if you go to my website, nityasankirtan.com, there also I have listed the 6 opulences in Sanskrit also. So yeah, we should just keep on revisiting these verses so that they stay on the top in the tip of a tongue. Yeah. And okay, so
full
the last
wealth,
one is
strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation.
Yes, and renunciation. So you see, after creating all these things, but I'm not in it. Right? I've created all that, but I'm not in it. Right? When we create something, we are so in it. Right? So that's
we are so proud.
Yeah. We are so proud of our creation. We are so proud of our children, right?
Yeah.
I still remember like as kids when we not kids, actually, we were young girls. And so when my sister and I were invited to a party, and if we got late coming home from that birthday party, then my father would be getting upset. So I used to tag along my sister till only such an age, after which she shed me and said, "You are not coming to all my parties." So she would go alone. So I would be sulking in the home, of course. And so I would listen to the conversation between my mom and dad. And so my dad would be worried that the daughter has not come home. And so he would go and say to my mom and say, "Your daughter has not come."
Oh,
And when the daughters, are excel in the
My
school, they were
daughter
like,
has not.
"My daughter, first high class man." So that attachment is there. And we all do that, right? Tumhari beti
They
nahi
always want to take the credit.
hai. Yeah, but Krishna is so renounced that he doesn't do that. Yeah. What else did we hear? Was there anything from chapter 8 that we had been reading and realized, and then what did we hear in 9, that there is some common thing, right, in 8 and 9 here? Some things, key points that we mentioned there.
Mataji, I did not understand one of the text. I think text 5 or something. Can you show that again? I had a question.
Sure. Coming up. Hold on. Where is the reading order? Okay. Can you see?
Yeah, just coming up. Text 5, I think.
Okay.
Or something on that.
Get everything that created.
Not text 5. 1 second. Was it 4? Just one.
Give me the little few keywords from there. We can find it.
All things. So, son, by me in my unmanifested
I
form,
can see you now.
4.
all things are in me, but I am not in them.
Yes.
Mm.
So we were talking about this just now, right?
Yes.
We are so in ourselves. And let us see what Prabhupada, explains. Why don't you read? Karan, Prabhu. That Supreme Personality.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not perceivable through the gross material senses. It is said, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahamyam indriyaye sevan mukhe hi jivadu swayam eva spurti ada.
Surati Ada. Okay. We'll let others also take a turn reading it. So who comes after Karan in a reading order? Uttara. Okay, good. Uttara.
Lord Sri Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, etc. cannot be understood by material senses. Only to one who is engaged in pure devotional service under proper guidance is he revealed. In the Brahma Samhita 538, it is stated, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. One can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, always within himself and outside himself if one has developed the transcendental loving attitude towards him. Thus, for people in general, he is not visible. Here, it is said that although he is all pervading, everywhere present, he is not conceivable by the material senses. This is indicated here by the word avyakta murtina. But actually, although we cannot see him, everything is resting in him. As we have discussed in the 7th chapter, the entire material cosmic manifestation is only a combination of his two different energies, the superior spiritual energy and the inferior material energy. Just as the sunshine is spread all over the universe, the energy of the Lord is spread all over the creation, and everything is resting in that energy. Hare Krishna.
Yet one should not conclude that because he is a spread all over, he has he has lost his personal existence. To refute such as argument, the Lord say, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but still I am aloof. For example, a king heads a government which is but the manifestation of the king's energy. The different governmental departments are nothing but Nothing.
Hold on. Yeah, let's go.
What would be for example, a king, oh, but the energize of the king, and each department is resting on the king's power. But still, one cannot expect the king to be present in every department personally. That is crude example. Similarly, all the manifestation that we see and everything that exists both in his material world and in the spiritual world are resting on the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The creation takes place by. Where am I?
Yeah, the creation last. Let me highlight
The,
that.
yeah, the creation takes place by the diffusion of his different energies, and as stated in the Bhagavad-gita,
Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam.
he is everywhere. Vishtabhya
Idam kritsnam.
idam pristam. He is everywhere present by his personal representation in the diffusion of his different energies.
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 Energy, right? So here, Karan Prabhu, the answer was there, right?
Got it, Mataji.
Yeah, you did. And that's why I really like Srila Prabhupada's purpose, as if, you know, he was expecting us to ask that question, and then he answers it in the purport. I've seen that so many times while I'm reading also his purport, that like, what about this? And then next sentence he answers that for you. Yeah, so if we go back again to this chapter and what we will be doing throughout.
There's one more question, right? Where he says, those who are doing abominable actions, I think after 17 or 18, somewhere there, even like, you know, even if they do that and they're worshipping me, they will
Api chet sudaracharo. Yeah, bhaste mam ananya bhag.
There was something on that. Like, so it's almost like saying, if you are devoted to Krishna, then you can do wrong, but otherwise you cannot. It's like
that's a different way of it's a way of interpreting it. It's not about them. It is about us. Okay. So
yeah, this one. It was just below. Even if there was something, right? Just go below.
Most abominable. Api chet sudaracharo, right?
The most.
Api chet sudaracharo bhaste mam ananya bhag sadhur eva samantavya. So if you look at the translation for this, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly. It's about you. It's not about him.
No.
It's about us. That what should be our thought process? What should be our thought process? Because when we see somebody committing an action and it might appear abominable to us, I mean, like so many people, Arjuna going and killing on the behest of Krishna is an abominable action. People might think like that, right? So from that perspective, this verse is not directed to the person who is doing the abominable action. It is about us and our thought process and what we should be considering. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that we will get into the habit of finding faults with devotees. So that this verse is actually gearing you towards that kind of a consciousness. And does it mean that if a person who's doing devotional service really is doing abominable activities, really does, he has a fault now or she has a fault now, and they're doing abominable activities, then, you know, it depends on the time, place, and circumstances that you will pick up the cudgels. For example, if you are the temple president, and a person, some devotee comes and he is behaving in an abominable manner to other devotees, then as a temple president, it will be your duty to make sure that, you know, you will issue injunctions against that person, not prevent him from entering into the temple premises and things like that, right? So as a matter of your duty, you will do that, right? Now, the interesting thing is that as a person becomes a devotee, his heart becomes very, very soft. For example, in the beginning, there is a concept of right and wrong. Okay, this is right, this is wrong, and then so he's doing wrong, I'm doing right, or I did wrong, I should do right. So at one level, as a consciousness is getting purified, you are getting rid of the bad and you're doing the good. Okay, but then as you progress in devotional service and you see other people doing bad, even to you, you see them doing bad even to you, our reaction or our inner consciousness and our inner reaction and our inner thoughts, well, thoughts are always inner, are not of pointing fingers to them. I mean, we might still be strict with them, but inside a devotee always has mercy towards them. So apichet su duracharo. Durachar, achar is behavior. Durachar is bad behavior. Sudurachar is a worst possible behavior. So it's like, extreme is saying that apichet, if somebody does sudurachar bad, right? But if he is doing devotional service, sometimes a person can do that, right? So he's saying from inside you, you will still think that, sadhu reva, he's a sadhu. Who is a sadhu? That's the bigger question then, right? Those of us who come from India, sadhu means somebody with a beard and a mustache, kamandalu in his hand, he's a sadhu, right?
Mataji, my question is, like Arjuna doing his duty, right? Like we discussed in one of the sessions, the intent matters, right? So that is understandable. Isn't this a little subjective? Because there are a lot of those people, right, that we have seen who do all the kind of corruption, crimes, everything, and then they come to Lord's place saying, forgive me, and then next day again they will do the same things, right? And they will be like, now my sins are washed away. And if you see them as devotees and say, okay, fine, like they've done they've been devotees, so they should be treated as saints. I'm saying, would that matter on the context, with the intention with which you are doing things? It's your duty, like a butcher, right? Like it's wrong to kill animals, but a butcher's duty is to kill animals, right? And they're killing animals, so it's their duty. So fine, that's there. But like a lot of people who are intentionally doing wrong, and then saying, I'll do some puja and everything will be washed away, and then I can continue doing wrong.
Very good point. And that brings us to the question, what is devotional service? Is going and doing some prayashchittam, is that devotional service? It is not. Right. And actually, in the Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj asked that question of Sukadeva Goswami. He says that when a person commits sin and then goes and says, and it's there in all the religions, Hail Mary, do Hail Mary 600 times. And other confessionals, you go there and say, Father, I did this. And then the father says, you do such and such a thing. Or we also do that. Bring the priest home, I killed a cow. So he'll say, okay, now take a sone ki cow and you daan karo and all that, right? That is not devotional service. That is not devotional. This verse is very deep. This chapter 9 is very deep, right? So in that case, what is happening is that you are just trying to, erase certain things, or you did certain things, you erased. And Prabhupada explains this very nicely in one of his books. And he says that, and before that, so Parikshit Maharaj says that if a person commits sin and then goes and does any of these karamkandi activities, right? Have a yagya, or you ask for forgiveness, or you go say sorry and all that. But his tendency to commit the sin has not gone away, right? By that. So prayashchit does not remove the tendency to do that. Prayashchit is just an easy way to have a clear conscience and then continue to do it over and over again, right? But what devotional service does is that it will remove that tendency. Karmani nirdhati kintu japa. It removes the tendency to commit sin. So that is the main, so now here, if we go back to this verse, what he's saying is, if he is engaged in devotional service, he's doing things for Krishna, he is a devotee of Krishna, but accidentally he did something very, very bad. Then from my perspective, as I'm looking at that person, I will not, start pointing finger inside my mind. Outside, you might have to do it because of duty, but inside your mind, you will have mercy. You might even go and pray to Krishna for that person, that Krishna, this person. So the way a devotee thinks is very different from how we were, those who are progressing in or starting in devotional service, or those who are non-devotees, they think like that, right? There's a story there's a story from Bible where Jesus Christ, there was some lady, she was a prostitute, something like that, and then every man wanted to go flog her. Flogging is you throw stones at them and they die from that. And then Christ said that, if there is anybody in this group of men who has never thought of another woman in the wrong manner, then please pick up the first stone and throw at her. Yeah. Nobody could throw that, right? So it's all about, when you're not devotees of the Lord, it's so easy and quick to cast your finger and aspiration on others and say that, you did that, look at that, they are doing this, they are doing this. And then they always say that when you point a finger at your neighbor, there are 3 more pointing back at you, right?
Yeah.
And then the thumb points to that there is God above. So better be that. So that particular verse, Karan Prabhu, is not about just general thing. It's very, very deep. So pratyakṣa karunaka suhid sarva bhutanam ajat santava shanta sadhu sadhu bhushanam. So it says, so I was again taking back to the word, sadhu. So who actually is a sadhu? Here in this verse it says sadhur eva samantavya. You have to still consider that person to be a sadhu. So the word sadhu, and then we read that in the 4 question ask books, a couple of sessions ago, that sadhu word comes from sadhana. And the word sadhana means practice. So what does a sadhu practice? The sadhu is practicing how to do devotional service. So when we are practicing something, we have not become masters of that.
Yeah.
Right? We are practicing, we'll make mistakes.
No,
so
absolutely.
So you think about that person as sadhur eva samantavya. That I still understand that he is also a sadhak like you. He's also practicing. He made some mistakes. And it is for Krishna, the thumb that goes up, it's for Krishna to make the judgments. I will not make the judgments on that. So that verse is about that one.
Mataji, I get that. The question I have is the action, the abominable action, right? With the intention with which it's done. Like Krishna doing it, it's his duty, right? Like fighting against his relatives, and his elders.
He's not saying, so that verse is not saying that the abominable act, he's saying abominable. That word itself is saying that the act is wrong.
Right.
Right? He's not saying the act is wrong. He's not saying that if a devotee does something, it is right. That verse is not saying that. That verse is just saying when you see a devotee doing something wrong, right? From inside your heart, your thought process should be that person is a person who is practicing. He's learning how to do devotional service, and there can be slips. And
no, and that is okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
The thing which I'm still not able to, like, I understand the entire perspective, right? Like if you're in Krishna consciousness, right? Like your actions, you need to forgive. But I'm saying there's some people who will do those actions intentionally.
They are doing intentionally. Yeah. They are doing intentionally. When Maya comes and controls you, right? You do it intentionally. With all intentions, we do it.
But then should you consider them as sadhus if they're doing it intentionally? Is the question I have, right? Like, because it's...
and that goes back to the word, what is a sadhu?
Yes.
We revere sadhus, right? But if you go to the root meaning of the word sadhu is somebody who is perfecting, who is practicing devotional service.
Right.
Right? So if you take that in that perspective, like a child is learning how to ride a bicycle, he will fall down several times from the bicycle, right? So do we put that child down? No. But that's falling down from a bicycle is not an abominable act that he did.
Exactly. Okay? But someone who does it intentionally.
Yes, yeah, people do that, but they are not devotees.
Right.
You see the difference. I mean,
exactly.
There are people who become so famous, right? They are on television, they are selling their products and things like that, and then suddenly they are in jail. About molestation. So they are not devotees. A devotee will not do that. A devotee follows 4 regulative principles.
Right.
Right? They don't do that. So that here he's not even talking about that. So that set of 90% or 99% of people that you see in this, and this is Kali Yuga, so you'll find more of them. So finding devotional service, that's why the nectar of devotion that we read every now and then, that talks about pure devotional service. So here he's saying, if a person is doing pure devotional service. And another part over here is what's very interesting, is that we are understanding sadhu reva, so he's practicing. So why do we think that why should I even think that, so he's practicing? Okay, he's practicing. He did something wrong, but he's practicing it. He's learning it. Why? Because devotional service itself is so potent that if you continue to do devotional service in the true meaning of devotional service, which is you do everything for Krishna, right? If you continue to do that, then devotional service purifies your heart. So there won't be repetitions, or the repetitions will stop soon. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. The next line in that verse is Shipram, pretty soon he becomes a dharmatma. He will be purified by that.
Right.
Although although he might not. Say, Ajamal's story, in 6th canto of Bhagavatam, you read that, right? He chanted the name of Lord. He was a Brahmana coming from a very good family. His eyes accidentally fell on a prostitute with another man, and all his previous desires were aroused in him. And then he leaves his wife, goes and marries this prostitute, and at that time he was like 70 years old, and then has 10 children with her, like that. His good luck was that he named the last one Narayan. And so after doing, and then the prostitute, they are rich, so she demanded money. Now where will the Brahman bring the money for her? So he started taking to killing people, murdering, looting, and all that. So he did all kinds of abominable activities. Amal is a classical example of a devotee doing abominable activities. But so when the Yamdutas come to carry him away, he gets so scared by seeing those beings that he calls out to his son, Narayan, Narayan. So on his mouth, the word Narayan comes. So as soon as he says Narayan at the time of death, the Vishnu Dutas come, and there's very nice conversation between the Yamdutas and the Vishnu Dutas, and then the Yamdutas were not able to touch him. So, so what we are saying is that when we learn from the Shastras about all these things, and when we see a devotee like Ajamila has fallen down, we will just say that, okay, in our mind, I will say that because he's doing devotional service, and he did devotional service in the previous days before he met this prostitute, that part, that impetus from that, made him, call out that name of Krishna, Narayan, although he was not intentionally calling to Krishna, but the Krishna name is so powerful that even if you call his name unintentionally, so Sanketyam, Parihasyam, Va, Sobram, Helanam, Evava, there are different ways in which you can call the names of Krishna. And we have this amazing story, and I'm just trying to emphasize on the purifying power of devotional service, is that there was a Muslim, and he went to the jungle to do something, like crossing to the jungle or whatever. He was in the jungles, and a wild boar came, right? A boar is a pig, and the wild boar came and gored him. And so this man was dying, and the Muslims consider pig to be an inauspicious and a dirty animal. They don't touch, they don't eat pigs. And so haram means, dirty and bad. So at the time of his death, and he saw that, oh, I am so, pure Muslim, and a pig has come and touched me, he said, haram, haram. And haram word has got Ram in it, So he was liberated because he took the name of Lord Ram. So as we delve deeper, and that is why this chapter 9 is supposed to be a confidential knowledge, because in the beginning it's difficult to understand, difficult to even digest, right? And here in this chapter, he also says, I was hoping somebody would remind us or recollect that we read that he says, my devotee never perishes. This is so reassuring. Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhaktya pranashyati. So when you understand that a devotee of Krishna never perishes, so when you see a devotee of Krishna doing abominable activities, I will stop from saying anything about that person, because I know very soon this person the devotional service will purify him. He's a devotee of Krishna. Krishna will take care of him. That is my mood of dealing with devotees. Otherwise, it becomes Vaishnava Prad, like that.
Right.
Does that put a little context on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bharati. I have one more question. If others ask, I can ask it later. But
others, are you benefiting from the questions Karan Prabhu is asking? Are you speaking on mute, Varshana?
Yes, Mataji.
All right, then please go ahead. Ask.
Yes.
Just one final question. Krishna in this mentioned somewhere that you can pray to other demigods. That is right, but it's not like it'll come to me later. It's not the most powerful. It's almost like saying
Avidhi Purvakam, wrong way.
Right. Why is like let's say you pray to Krishna or Shiva or Ganesha, right? Why is one more than the other?
Yeah,
like
good
devotion is
question.
devotion.
Yes. Why is one more than the other? Devotion, devotion. But who are you devoted to? We have got temples of Amitabh Bachchan and Sachin Tendulkar in India.
Wait,
No, but like
really?
I'm saying like, what about Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, or
Yes,
Shiva?
I'm coming to God. I'm just coming to that, but I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying that what exactly is devotion, true devotion, right? Now we have to understand that who is Ganesh, who is Indra, who is Chandra, who is Surya, who is Agni, right? And if you go back and look at the language that we use or the words that we have been using, Devta, right? We have used the word Devta. Ye Devta hai, Devta Gan hai, right? A Gan means a group of Devtas. And then there's the word Bhagwan, right?
Yeah.
So there is a difference between the word Bhagwan and the word Devta. We have to understand who is who, the who's who of the material world. Okay? So demigod, now this might come as a shock. I don't like and as an eye-opener actually. Is that demigods are souls like you and I. And demigod is a position. Okay? So, for example, the one who regulates the wind in this material world is called Pavan Devta. The one who regulates the fire, where you're going to have a fire, Agni. Right? So you have got there are 31 crore devtas to manage this entire material world that has been created in this universe. 31 crore devtas. So they are managers in Krishna's enterprise where a soul can aspire to and acquire any one of these positions by dint of doing certain activities, prescribed activities from the Vedas. But they are all devotees of the Lord. So when a soul has got devotion to Krishna, but also has got this tendency to manage things or a strong desire to manage things, then they will, for example, suppose you have a desire to lord it and be very powerful and to run countries, right? So after you become the president of the most powerful country on this earth, do you think your desire will be satisfied? You will want more, right? Because material desires are never satisfied. Do you think, right?
Right.
After you become the president, then you want a Nobel Peace Prize, like that. So the desires are never ending. And so when you look out of your window and you see the moon, it's like, oh, how about I was the president of moon? Well, let's now try to find out how I can control the movements of the moon. All right, you will find the scriptures have the answers to that. They will tell you how to become Chandra, the lord
So
of the
Mataji,
planet.
other than Krishna, is there any other Bhagwan like
No,
Shiva,
Bhagwan can only
Ganesha?
be one. There
Okay,
can be only one God by definition of God, right?
got
By
it.
definition of God, because as Sukomal Radhe Mataji was saying, that by definition of God, God is one who is most beautiful, who is most wealthy, who is most powerful, who is most intelligent, who is most famous. And when after having all these things, he's the most renounced.
Renounced.
And but
Right?
when we say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh,
Mm,
right? We say one is the creator, one is the preserver, one is the destroyer,
mm,
right?
mm.
We kind of, at least like again, understanding from past learnings, right? Is they're all almost at the same pedestal. Like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are all three different Bhagwans of different nature. So you're saying actually that's not right. I mean, these are demigods and Krishna is the only God.
Krishna tu Bhagwan Swayam. Yes, from the quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. And to understand, Karan Prabhu, Brahma is also a post,
Right.
right? You can aspire and you can become Brahma. A person who follows, certain methods of living life and performs 100 Ashwamedh Yajna gets qualified to become a Brahma. So what does Brahma do? Brahma creates. What does Brahma create? Right? He creates this world. From where does he create? Does Brahma create the soul? If Brahma created a planet, then from where did the material come for the planet? Right? So as we continue to keep on asking this question, right? Asking this question that, okay, from where did this come? Okay, I made chapatis. Okay, from where did the chapati come? From the atta. From where did the atta come? From the gehu. From where did the gehu come? From the seed. From where did the seed come? From the gehu. From where did it come? So you get into infinite regress, right? Constantly going back and back. And so that's why we have to stop at some time and say, God is one who is the source of everything. And Krishna says in 8th chapter, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, matta sarvam pravartate. I am the source of everything. Okay, and that is where the faith, Shraddha, comes into picture. You have to have faith, right? So now going back to, so he's the source of everything. He creates it. Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna. He's an incarnation of Krishna, and he's in the mode of goodness. So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, when we talk about them, Karan Prabhu, they are demigods controlling certain modes of material nature. There are three gunas, right? Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. So Sattva is controlled by Vishnu. Rajas is controlled by Brahma. So when a devotee has got a lot of passion, I want to do this, I want to do that, then we give you the entire universe to manage and all the difficulties that come with it. And Brahma encounters difficulties or not? Brahma is a demigod. For a moment, if we assume that he's God, does he encounter difficulties or not? Bhagavatam readers, tell me, did Brahma ever encounter difficulties?
Yes, Mataji, he encountered difficulty, and that is why he did tapa, and then Krishna himself gave him the knowledge how to do the creation.
Yes, Mataji. So many difficulties.
Okay, does Brahma make mistakes?
Yeah.
Yes.
What mistakes?
He
Brahma
stole the
Vimohan
cows and
Brahma Vimohan Leela, right? So he got Vimohan. He gets bewildered. So then by a definition of God, okay, does Brahma die?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, how long does he live?
After
How
100
long does he
years
live?
of his
I think it's
age.
100,000.
How long is his life?
100,000 year, I think.
No, 100,000 years, no, 100
No.
years of his life. But how long in terms of
Oh,
our life,
yeah.
how long does Brahma live?
4,340 million.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay, it goes into trillions, yeah, 311 trillion, 40 billion. And where did you read that figure? Did I tell you, or you read it somewhere?
Oh, no. Maybe I said it
Where did you
wrong.
read? Tell me.
No, I
Bhagavatam.
didn't.
It was in
Of
Bhagavatam,
course you read
Mataji.
it. Huh?
It was in Bhagavatam and you calculated, right?
Bhagavatam?
Yeah,
Not Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam is
Mataji,
there,
in the
and I
eighth
think in
chapter,
Bhagavad-gita is also there. Yeah.
Which chapter of Bhagavad-gita talks about Brahma's
Eighth
life?
chapter.
Eighth
Yeah.
chapter.
Yeah,
Eighth
Sahasra Yug
chapter.
Paryantam Aharyat Thamano Vidu Yatri Yug Sahasrantam Teho Yatra Vido Janaha, right? It talks about 1,000 ages, and we talked about what is an age, and we talked about the Divya Kalpa. We did all that calculation, right? So Brahma dies. All the demigods die. So the understanding with which we have been brought up that, Devta Ajar hai, Devta Amar hai. So Ajar hote hain. If there's a noisy background, if you can mute yourself. So Ajar means, Jara means what? What is the meaning of Jara?
Jara means budhapa.
Budhapa, correct, right? So Ajar means not having budhapa. So Devtas do not have budhapa. That is for true. But when they say they are Amar, Amar doesn't mean that they don't die. Amar just means that from our perspective, when we barely live for 100 years, if somebody is living for 311 trillion, 40 billion years, हमको लगेगा वो Amar है, right? लेकिन Amar नहीं होते हैं. When this universe is annihilated, Mahapralaya के time पे, all the demigods are also vanquished. They go away. So now the question comes is that why do people worship demigods? And why does everybody not worship Krishna? What is why do we do that? We will do it
for short-term benefit. If you want to get some benefit, short-term benefit.
No, we never want short-term benefits. We always want long-term benefits, right? But what is it short about it? You're on the track, Sukharupa, but what is it short? What is the
short-term some material benefit?
No. That is fine. You're saying we look, okay, if that is what you meant, we look for material benefits, right?
Yeah.
But what is the difference between asking Krishna for a material benefit and asking a demigod for a material benefit? Darshana has an answer, it looks like.
Mataji, when we ask the demigods to give us something, they give us, but we get so saturated with the thing which he has given, and after that.
No, but why did you not go to Krishna? Why did you not go to Krishna to ask for a benefit?
That time
why did you go to demigod?
Because Krishna won't give it to him unless he deserves it.
Mataji,
no, you mean to say that demigods give unless you don't deserve it?
Unless if it is right.
Demigods are very easily pleased.
Okay, one at a time. Okay, what did you say? It's a Komal.
I said demigods are very easily pleased.
Okay, good. And Uttara is trying to raise a hand, and that's the right way. Okay, go ahead, Uttara Mataji.
Yeah, demigods, they give what we ask if we perform that particular austerity. And but Krishna, he will think whether it is good for us, and then only he will give.
Yes, the demigods are bound by the rules of material nature. Right, Sukharupa.
So demigods can give you that may not be beneficial for you. Jaise ki there was an example of that Rakshasa, he got the boon from Shiva and then he put the hand on the Bhasmasura. Yeah. So because so Krishna will not give you something which is not good for you. I mean, So if we may go to Krishna, we may ask, but then we may not get what we want because that may not be the
Yeah. So we
right
go
thing for
to
us.
Mataji, can I say
correct.
something?
Absolutely, you can.
Mataji, can I say something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mataji, sometime I feel we worship demigods out of ignorance because traditionally your parents have been doing or your grandparents have been doing what you see in your families. And at that time, you do not know that Krishna is the only Bhagwan. But after reading the Shastras and after Bhagavad-gita, we come to know that we were worshipping demigods, maybe not asking for anything, but just like that it has been done by our parents or traditionally we have been doing it.
Yes, but then now that you have understood it, right? And you're using your
Yes.
intelligence to do that in gaining the knowledge. Today's chapter is all about knowledge, right? So as most of you mentioned, couple of things about demigod worship. Okay. So one is that demigod worship is bound by the rules of this material nature, which basically means that if I have performed tapa for 10,000 years, no matter how bad I am, the demigod is bound to give it to me. Classic example, Ravana.
Yeah,
Right?
Hiranyakashipu also.
Yes, Hiranyakashipu. And they became terrors, right after that. However, he had everything nailed down very rightly in his contract. Hiranyakashipu. I should not be killed in the morning. I should not be killed in the night. I should not be killed by a human being. I should not be killed by this and that. All not inside, not outside. No weapons should be used to kill me. And guess what? He died, right, at the hands of God, ultimately. He was torn apart by the nails, which is not a weapon, traditionally. He was killed, in the intersection of the day and the night during the evening. So like that. So demigods, so number one, that is they are bound by that and they will give it. And so that's one thing. Second thing is that it is short-lived. It is not permanent, right? He said Amar ho gaye, but both of them got killed, Ravan and Hiranyakashipu both, right? And the third thing is that we have, and we were talking about that in the Nectar Devotion, that we have got a certain body, type of a body, and we are carrying out our life in order to exhaust the karmic reactions that we have got from a previous thing. So when the karmic reaction is coming at me, right? So I'm unable to bear it. So I now go to the demigod. And I will go and do some prayer, do some yajna, do some offerings to the demigod to please the demigod, right? And demigods are easily pleased and they will grant you whatever it does. But if you have noticed that in the prayers, etc., that you hear in India also on demigod worship, like this mata and that mata, they will say Vipda Taro. Vipta Taro. What is the meaning of Vipta Taro? Taro is like टालना. हम बोलते ना हिंदी में टाल दिया, उसने बात करी टाल दो, अरे पढ़ाई कल के लिए टाल दिया. So is postponement. So demigods cannot exhaust the karmic reactions for you. They can only postpone it. Okay, it's becoming very difficult for you right now. All right, we'll postpone it, but it's going to come after you. The karmic reaction, they cannot do that. Right? But all that we are doing is we are bribing the ministers in Krishna's empire, the demigods. We are bribing this. And that's, however, Krishna also says that these demigods, they are devotees of Krishna. So they will also consult with Krishna before granting you something. So they also can't give you anything that you don't deserve. Whatever is in your prarabdha karma to get it, you will get it like that, right? But what we are trying to do is we are trying to bribe. And that's why in 7th chapter, Krishna said that, it is better to, even if you have material desires, you just go to Krishna. Don't get into this bribing business there, right? Having said that, so that's why Ganesha, I'm going to build a building and I might get some obstacles. So let us pray to Ganesha to remove the obstacles, right? You can also pray to Krishna, to Ganesha, and say, Ganesha, I'm trying to pursue devotional service. I'm trying to become a devotee. And there are so many obstacles that come in my way. Can you remove those obstacles, please?
Yeah.
That way you can definitely pray to Ganesh, right? So again, Karan Prabhu, going back to what is the intent? It's all what is there in the heart that when we are doing it. So, and Krishna says, avidhi purvakam, they do so in the wrong way. Why it is wrong? Because you're bribing somebody.
Mataji, may I say?
Sure.
So I think the last part about the intent, right? So I know some friends, they would say, I pray to a certain God because that's how my family has been brought up. Like,
Mataji also said that. Yeah.
And that's what. So I think eventually the intent, as you said, would be the most important, because if they are going directly to Krishna and eventually they're going to Krishna, if I'm praying to Krishna for giving me a good salary or giving me things, then it's eventually like, hey, it's you're eventually praying to him for some bribes. So
it is not pure devotional service, Neeral Prabhu. Yes. Yeah. It is not pure. And that's what Krishna says that in 7th chapter, right? Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Jana sukritino Arjuna. Arto jigyasu artharthi jnani cha bharatarishabha. Right? So there's 4 types of people come and worship me. Okay? Right? They come to me. Who are they? Arto, one who is in distress. Right? Jigyasu, those who are curious to know. Why does the sun rise? Why does the moon? Who created that? Right? Arto jigyasu. Artharthi. Artharthi is economics. Right? They want some economical gain. Right? And then Jnani, one who knows that there is God and now he's trying to go to God. So Chaturvida Bhajantema. So the four people go. Now assume that I need $500 as loan. Right? So who will I go to? Will I go and catch any person on the street and go and ask them for can you give me a $500 loan? Or will I turn to my friend or somebody I have a relationship with and ask?
Somebody that you have a
relationship with, right? So when Krishna is so magnanimous, he says that, okay, if people are coming to me and asking me even for money, they're coming and asking me for money, I take it as a positive because at least they thought that they have a relationship with me. They felt a relationship with me. That's why they came to me. And what happens is that they will keep on asking, and you know, if their desire is so strong, they're asking it, let them ask, and Krishna will give. And when Krishna gives them, the devotees or the person who is asking for that person's faith in Krishna will increase. And that is ultimately what you want, to have faith in Krishna. Once you get the faith in Krishna, then you'll be able to progress further in devotional service. What do you say, Keshvi?
Thank you,
Keshvi agrees with you.
Keshvi agrees with everything and anything to do with Krishna. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you,
so yeah, so chapter 9 is deep. It's very, very deep. Very, very deep. That's why they're saying that. So again, when we say, so what should we do then? Now that we have got this rāja-vidyā, that Krishna is the supreme, and he's saying, you know, bow down to me, do this, and then you see somebody else completely engaged in karmakandi activities. What do we do, right? Let us not go and ruffle feathers over there. Let them do that. And that is why Krishna has created this system in this material world, that you have material desires and he has created the Vedas. You can follow the Vedic rituals and get whatever you want, because unless your desires are not satisfied, you man nahi lagega Bhagwan mein. So khatam karo, pehle usko khatam karo. Exhaust it.
Like a stepping stone, right? To get to Krishna.
Yes, it's a stepping stone, correct, to getting to Krishna. And getting to Krishna is not very easy. It's a difficult thing. And different people do it. So, and I always say, power of prayer. It's huge. Power of prayer is huge. And so if you see that somebody is completely immersed because of what Guru Maharaj says is cultural momentum. Because of cultural momentum, my mother prayed to Ganesha, my grandmother prayed to Ganesha, my great-grandmother prayed. We are Ganesh Bhaktas. We go and, like that. So you can always pray to Krishna. Now, second thing is, suppose you like me a lot, right? And you find so many divine qualities in me that you come and say, आप ही मेरे भगवान हो. कहते हैं ना लोग, आप ही मेरे भगवान हो, आप ही भगवान हो, मुझे तो आप ही भगवान दिख रहे हो, मुझे तो आप में भगवान दिख रहा है. They will say that, right? Now, if I am a devotee of the Lord, what will I tell you? I will say I am God?
No, you.
No, I will not say, right? So similarly, when people are doing devotional service to demigods, right? The demigods will not, they will give whatever is there, but the demigods will also slowly, mold you and show them to Krishna. If somebody thinks that Ganesh is Bhagwan, then Ganesh is not going to accept that, because Ganesh himself is a devotee of Krishna. How can he accept that when somebody calls him Bhagwan? He'll say, no, main Bhagwan nahi hu, wo Bhagwan hai. Right? So that will happen ultimately over a long time. That is the problem. Krishna consciousness is relatively quick. And when you're talking about long time and short time, we're talking about millions and trillions of years. That's what it takes. Right? Like that. So the beauty is that we didn't even touch verse number 2 that we are supposed to do. But this is what Krishna is, right? Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. You can keep on talking about Krishna, throughout. Go ahead.
Mataji, I need to leave, Mataji.
And that is Sutapa?
Yes, Mataji.
I know. Sutapa, 10 o'clock in the night, past your dinner time. Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the nice class, Mataji. It was really good.
It was a recap.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, who was going to say something? Varshana. You are on mute. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Before I met you, Mataji, in 2010, and I used to pray to Lord Shiva. And I kept those 16 Mondays also fasting. I used to do everything. And after that, Mataji, I realized that when I came to Krishna consciousness and you showed me the way, and then I realized when I see Lord Shiva sitting and meditating, and I felt that Lord Shiva brought me to Krishna, that meditate like me, sit down and think of Krishna. He is the one who will take you out of this material clutches. So,
and there are, actually talking about Shiva, there are many flavors of Shiva. So Karan Prabhu, when you sit down to read Bhagavatam, and that's why I keep on telling everybody, read Bhagavatam, it's huge and it's deep. I mean, there are difference between Rudra, Shiva, Sadashiva, Shiva the demigod. There's a lot. Brahma Samhita, Sadashiva is a glance of Krishna. So there's no difference between Krishna and Shiva. It goes at a very higher level. And the kind of worship that we do majorly in India these days to Shiva is wahan ke doodh dal diya bas chale aaye. Wo devotional service nahi hai, right? And then, yes, like I said, another thing that people point out is that, have you ever thought that why does Shiva sit down like that? And who is he meditating on?
He's meditating on Krishna.
But if I'm saying if he's God. Why? Who is he meditating on? Did you ever see Krishna meditating? वो मुरली लेके घूमता है. Because he's like, very interesting thing when I used to work for Oracle. So Larry Ellison, we all know, right? So there was a girl who joined Oracle. It was her first day, and she was in hardware support. She joined the hardware support team. She was on call or something like that. And Larry Ellison was working from home, and his laptop was out of order. So the call came to this group saying Larry Ellison's laptop is out of order. So you can imagine what it would have meant, right? I remember once when I was the education manager of one of the education centers from Oracle here, I got a call the day before saying that Larry Ellison's son is coming to attend the class. You can imagine. I had to cancel my class in San Francisco, rush to San Jose to make sure. So when these things happen, it's a lot of action. So then they said, she was on call, they said, you go. Now this girl was scared. She was so scared. that first day in a company and you have to go to the CEO of the company's home and fix his laptop. And what if you're not able to fix it? You're fired, right? That's what she thought. Anyway, she went there. Larry Ellison was in his backyard in Atherton. And so she goes there, and Larry Ellison was sitting. And when she goes there in the backyard, she was ushered in. So he looks at her and says, shh. And so she's completely bewildered. Like, what is it? And so Larry Ellison is watching a squirrel on a tree. And the squirrel is making some movements and he's enjoying it. For 45 minutes, Larry Ellison just watched the squirrel. There was no thought of urgency of the laptop which was broken. Right? We who are the servants get agitated, the one who owns the company majorly. For him, it was a play. Right? So when you look at Krishna, he owns everything. That's why he plays. And to do the work, he hires the demigods to maintain all that, right? And why did he create? So you will see the difference. I mean, Vaishnav Kapoor always says, look at him. He doesn't even wear shoes because he doesn't go to office. He's always playing. So slowly, that will come. The faith will come that Krishna is Krishna tu Bhagwan Swayam. So if you read the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto of Bhagavatam, there are many incarnations of Krishna are there. That chapter talks about the scheduled incarnation. Scheduled incarnation means that they will come at specific times in every millennium, like that, right? But Krishna is Bhagwan. He can come anytime that he wants, right? That's why when Prahlad Maharaj was in peril, Krishna just came out of a pillar as Narsingham Dev, right? Like that. So, towards the end of the chapter, it says, Ete chamsa kala pumsan Krishna tu Bhagwan Swayam indrari vakulam lokam ridyante yuge yuge. So he said, after describing all these munificent avatars that we hear, that we know of, then he says, oh, Ete chamsha, oh Krishna, these are just anshas, these are just parts, small parts of you. Ete, all these are just parts of Ete chamsha kala Krishna. Krishna tu Bhagwan Swayam, but Krishna, you are Bhagwan. Bhagwan means Bhagyavan. Bhagyavan means one who has opulences. And we talked about the 6 opulences today, right? Krishna tu Bhagwan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam. Indra means demigod, right? Ari means enemies. So those who are enemies of the demigods or enemies of the devotees, right? When they become Vyakul, when they become so tortured by that, right? But Bhumi is also demigod, right? Prithvi Devi, she's a demigod. But when Hiranyakashipu was walking all over her, she gets agitated. Or when Kamsa was walking all over her, she gets distressed. She goes to Brahma. Brahma, you are the controller of this universe. Please do anything. Something for me. Is Brahma able to do anything? No. Brahma goes to Vishnu. Right? And Vishnu says, okay, I'm going to incarnate. And I'm going to put an end to it. So whenever the devotees of the Lord are put into trouble, that's why he says, Pavitranai sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam. Right? To annihilate the miscreants and to take care and to protect the devotees. Sambhavami yoga yoga, I descend every millennium. I come again here and here, right? So that verse in Bhagavatam also says that, Bhagavad-gita also says that. So that's how we kind of, just look for supporting evidence there. But having said that, Karan Prabhu, you should not let go of the doubts that are in your mind. Doubts are a sign of intelligence. When you have doubts, you should ask the question. And when you get an answer from anybody, you should always triangulate and see Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Is your Guru also saying the same thing? Is this art Sadhus means others also saying the same thing, other Sadhus? And does the Shastra also say the same thing? All 3 should be, in unison before you accept it. Like that.
Right,
So,
Mataji.
yeah. But when the doubts have gone, and how will the doubts go away? Right? The doubts will always be there. And for Krishna, it's such a big problem. Like if I have a doubt on whether this is acid or not, I can put a litmus paper. Acid's turned blue, litmus red. Right? So take a blue litmus, put it in the acid. If it turns red, this is acid. So you have got experimental evidence. But where is the experimental evidence for Krishna? Where can I experience? How can I experience Krishna? I don't see him. That's the worst thing. But devotional service will bring that realization into you. You will start seeing Krishna in everything. And 10th chapter talks about that. Rasoham apsu konteya, prabhasmi shashichuyayo, right? Parul.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, maybe it's end of, it's the top of the hour, but I have a very, if it's a quick answer, please answer. Is there any difference between Vishnu and Krishna?
Yes.
And if it is, what is it? Because I never heard anybody saying.
Yeah. So there are many Vishnus actually. There are many Vishnus, and Krishna expands. So one of the days I will talk about the Chaturvya expansion. Even above than Vishnu, that Krishna is there, and then Krishna's first expansion is Balram. And then from Balram, you have Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, like that they come. So Vishnu comes like a third layer of separation from Krishna. If you look at Vishnu, Vishnu is more like and a controlling aspect or administrative aspect of Krishna is Vishnu. Like he will be controlling this, the Shirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right? We heard about the 3 types of Vishnu that we hear about, right? They're all controlling. And when you see Vishnu, a striking difference between Vishnu and Krishna, even on the apparent, apparition, is that Krishna has a peacock feather on his head. Have you seen Vishnu Murti with a peacock feather? No. Right? Krishna has the flute. Vishnu doesn't have the flute. Vishnu has gada. He will have the chakra, right? The kamal. He will have all this, but he doesn't have that. So like I said, Krishna is he plays because he owns everything. He doesn't have to control anything. He has created all these things to and expanded himself.
So Mataji, sorry, go ahead.
Let Parul continue because that's her question.
So Mataji, last thing. Just like we have heard Maya controls demigods, and there was one story where I was hearing the Maya controls Vishnu when he was sleeping, and then Brahmaji went and worship him and then worship Maya to wake him up or something. So does Maya can control Vishnu?
I have not heard. See, again, we come from a land of many stories. Let me put it this way. And that's why Prabhupada always said that you stay focused. Like how for a horse, you put those special goggles on the horse. It doesn't look here and there. We also have to stay focused. And that's why he said, to find the truth, you have to go to Bhagavatam. To find the truth, you have to get the truth from the real source. And the real source is Krishna. And what does Krishna say? It says, Devi esha gunamayi mama maya dhrataya mamevaye prapadante mayam etam tarantite. So he says Devi eka gunamayi. He says Mai means mine. Devi, she is my divine energy. Okay, she's my divine energy, and she's the one who. But Maya Adhyakshan, in today's verse, it was Maya Adhyakshana Prakriti Suyate Sa Saracharam. Under me, under my guidance, under my control, Maya operates because Maya is a devotee of the Lord. And what is Maya's job? Maya's job is to punish us. She has a thankless job, but she is Krishna's devotee. Right? When my daughter was small and I had a job at that time, so it was difficult for me to come home and then make her do the homework. And then guess what's going to happen? You come back home, you have a child, the child hasn't done the homework, and hundreds of other things, washing clothes, cooking, eating, all that you have to do in a short span of a couple of hours. So what's going to happen? You're going to get angry at the child if the child is not doing the homework. So I realized that this was spoiling my relationship with my daughter. So what I did was I hired a person to help her finish her homework. So that when I would come back home, her homework was already done. All that I had to do was cook and then feed her. Right? So sometimes in order to maintain your relationships, you will get somebody else to do the dirty work. Right? So Maya does the dirty work for Krishna. Right? And I haven't heard anywhere in the Srimad Bhagavatam or in Bhagavad-gita, anywhere where Krishna is saying that I'll get control by Maya. Right? So different people will say different things in order to make the katha very interesting. They will tell you, oh, Maya se aa gaya, then Brahma went, and like that. Right? I mean, Vishnu does go to sleep, and his sleep is not like our sleep. When we go to sleep, we don't even know who we are. Right? But Vishnu is not like that. Vishnu is divine. So his sleep is very different. He's a Yog Nidra, it's called. It's not even called Nidra, it's called Yog Nidra.
Yes, Mataji, same thing. Yog Nidra, Maya controlling Vishnu, not Krishna. That's why I felt there's a difference between Vishnu and Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. I also have to tell you something, that there are 2 Mayas. There's Mahamaya and there's Yoga Maya. Okay.
That's
so when Krishna, yes, there are 2 Mayas. One controls the material, one controls the spiritual. So for example, Krishna is his reservoir of pleasure, which means, and you can get pleasure in so many ways, right? So he's like, for example, you can get pleasure in a game of football, right? So that's one way of getting pleasure, valiant pleasure, right? You can get pleasure by watching a comedy movie. So there's a pleasure by coming home just laughing. So there's so many ways in which you can get pleasure. He's a reservoir of all those kind of things. So he wants to enjoy. And so how do you enjoy? So he wants to enjoy a nice mother and a son relationship. Now, how do you get into a mother and son relationship when you yourself have created everything? Right? So he has created Yashoda. Right? And Yashoda has given birth, but he knows. Like, even if he comes in and, apparently has taken birth from Yashoda, but he knows that, Yashoda is my creation. So how can he even enjoy that relationship? So at that time, what he does? He does ask Maya, but not Mahamaya, not the Maya that controls us. He asks Yoga Maya to go and temporarily forget. That's why in the Damodar Ashtakam, you see that when Yashoda runs after him with a stick, Krishna is scared. Krishna is scared. How come Krishna is scared? Right? Because he wants to enjoy that emotion also of being scared. And he cannot do that without forgetting that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So yes, in those cases, Maya does have influence on him. But remember, it's not the Maya that we usually talk about.
Very clear answer, Mataji.
Yeah, these are very esoteric topics. Yeah.
One thing they say, right? Like Krishna, Ram, they're all avatars of Vishnu only.
Yes.
Right? So if Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu, then how are they different?
Krishna is not the avatar of Vishnu. That's a wrong conception we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when he shows his like Pralay Roop, right, in Gita, it's all with the chakras and his.
So he's showing that roop. See, Vishnu is the expansion. He's come out of Krishna. So that is one roop. Yeah, that's one roop of Krishna. But the ultimate roop, there's a very nice book actually. What is that book that has all the avatars that you should read? Avatar is actually a very deep topic. Lagu Bhagavatamrita.
Right. Got it.
Not
Because
Lagu
I was just like checking it. It was like
it is very deep. No, yeah, it is very, very deep. There is, Swamishas, avatars of Krishna who are exactly like Krishna. And then we have, sometimes some of the yogis can also expand, become 16, right? But what happens in that is that if they will expand into 16, but all of them will do the same thing. Like if one raises the hand, all the others will raise the hand. It's just an expansion. In that sense, in the modern technology also we have expansions. If I'm speaking over here and I raise my hand gets raised on Facebook and on YouTube also. So that way I have an expansion there, right? But it's not like that in the case of Krishna's expansion, each will do different things. And so there are complete expansions, there are plenary expansions, there are partial expansions. There's so many expansions. There are empowered expansions, empowered avatars. Like sometimes you will see people saying Narad Muni is an avatar. And Narad Muni is also a post. And Bali Maharaj is a post. Yamraj is a post. They're all posts, right? And so Shakti-vesh avatar. Shakti-vesh avatar is when you give your power of attorney to somebody. Shakti, right? Power of eternity. Satya Avesh. So that those persons will be empowered to do phenomenal work that normal human beings cannot do. Like Narad Muni. He travels all over the universe, from the material universe as well as spiritual. You can't go to spiritual universe with that's our type of body. So he has got certain powers that Krishna has manifested in him. So Krishna do that. Parashuram was another Shakti-vesh avatar like that. Kalki avatar, that who's going to come at the end of Kali Yuga to kill everybody. That's a Shakti-vesh avatar, which basically means it will be a soul like you and I with such powers that he will go and kill all the bad people at that time. So avatar is a very deep topic. Yeah.
In that case, we can say Srila Prabhupada was also a Shakti-vesh avatar. He came and wrote so much, and he has given Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita for us. So
we can say that, but we have not read it in the scriptures. Yeah, so that's why we don't say that. Yeah. But for Jesus Christ, yes, Shakti-vesh avatar is it. So that's why you see Jesus Christ did so much, right? At that time, in that circumstances, to that set of people, in that part of the earth, right?
Right.
People were different. They were nomadic and all that, right? So,
Because in traditional Hindu philosophy, it's written like, like Vishnu's 10 avatars, 7th is Rama, 8th is Krishna, right? Matsya, the fish, Narasimha, right? Like,
yeah. So when you read the Dashavatar Stotra from a different lineage, you will not find that. All of them are saying Keshavadhritta Meena Sharira, Keshavadhritta Bhrigupati Rupa, Keshavadhritta this Rupa, Keshavadhritta that Rupa. So their original is Keshav, Krishna, right? So it depends on where you're reading, and Google is not the right place to read.
right. No, not just that. Like,
anyway, no, I'm just saying, or even like AI, right? How does AI operate? My limited knowledge, and I should not be speaking before Karan because he's in the AI business. But in a nutshell, you gather a lot of data and then you interpret things from that,
and
right?
Mataji, what about Rama and Krishna? Ram and Krishna.
Yeah,
Like,
Ram is also, yeah.
Did Ram also originate from Krishna? Because they say that Ram
Yes.
came before Krishna.
Well, what is before and after? These cycles repeat each other again and again. They keep on coming. So Krishna, they are just basically Krishna's expansions are over there. So when you read Bhagavatam, you'll also see where does Ram live, where does Krishna live, what those planets are. You read all about that, and that's why Vaishnav Kapoor always says that this Vedic literature and Vaishnavism is very powerful religion, because you go and ask any others that where does your God live, they have no idea. How does your God look like? They have no idea. Some will say he's got a beard and white beard and all that. What is God doing? Becoming old. Old means death, right? This means God will die. So that goes against the very definition of God. By the way, tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, but next Saturday and Sunday, a very fantastic speaker is coming to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. We'll have 3 sessions, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday morning. He's from University of Utah. He's a devotee. And Radhika Raman Prabhu. He's amazing. Karan, you should come. I mean, of course, for everybody, but because Karan is new, I'm just telling him that make the time and attend his classes.
Is that going to be one of the Zoom classes or in
It'll
person?
be Zoom. It'll be on Zoom. It'll be in no. He's coming to ISKCON Silicon Valley. He comes once every year.
Right. The one in Mountain View.
They're all in Mountain View, yeah. But they will also be broadcast on ISKCON Silicon Valley's, website and YouTube and Facebook. It'll also be there. But yeah, and he's amazing when you come and sit and read anything that he speaks. Yeah, I'm forgetting what topic he's speaking, but I think about scriptures only he's going to speak. Yeah, I unfortunately will have to miss the Sunday session because I got another appointment somewhere. But yeah, you should. He takes devotional service to a very different dimension, and especially for intelligentsia like us who have been brought up in the really scientific way. He's going to analyze the Shastras and put it in front of you in a scientific way, which becomes easy for us to digest, right? Because otherwise, most of the devotional service that we get is coming from cultural momentum, right? Me dadi aise karti thi, cat in the basket. We read about that. Same thing, yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Will there be a live telecast?
Yes, I'll put the
on Zoom.
Live on Zoom. You can watch on Zoom as well. Yeah. Now Uttara had her hand up for quite a long time.
Hey Krishna Mataji. Mataji, you mentioned Maya as a devotee of Krishna, but still, like, devotees are also very vulnerable to the attacks of Maya. Generally, devotees are very merciful, but why Maya being a devotee is
when you say it was a very good point that you bring in another concept that I should then explain here. There was one devotee and he was talking to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was saying, do this, do that, and vrat rakho, rakho, some austerities he was saying. And then the devotee said, but Prabhupada, Maya is so strong, right? Prabhupada said, it's not that Maya is strong. It is because you are weak. You are weak. It completely changes the, equation on you. So is it that Maya just controls it, or did we have the desire in us, right? And Arjuna asked that question to Krishna in chapter 6. He says, why is it that we act like that almost against our wish? It is lust only, Arjuna, he says. It's our desires. Because of your desires, so when you have the desires, Maya will come and assist you in fulfilling your desires. And then when your desires are fulfilled, she will punish you, which is the way of telling you, don't do it. but we don't get it. We instead, when we are being punished, we go to the demigod and say, "Abhi thoda sa kam kar do. Mujhe fir se karna hai," like that. So you see how everything is connected. And when you take to devotional service, the Mahamaya, right, who takes care of the material, the Mahamaya steps away. Then Yog Maya comes in, and then she handles your life for you, taking you to devotional service. And Yog Maya is an expansion of Radharani. So that's how it works.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
And the same thing that I was saying, that to my daughter, right? I did not want to spoil the relationship, so I hired somebody to scold her. Right? So Maya does that. Yeah, the teacher was Maya. She was very strict with her, which was very good. 7:33. Didn't do the chapter, but I'm glad you asked the questions and these things got clarified.
Thank you, Mataji.
Kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gopremanande Hari Hari Bol. One last thing I want you to tell, particularly for Karan Prabhu, because he asked the question, is there a difference between Ram and Krishna? Is there a difference between Vishnu and Krishna? There are differences, right? And there will be people who will be devoted to Vishnu. They cannot tolerate Krishna. Right? There will be some who will be devoted to Shiva. There will be some who will be devoted to somebody else, right? And in today's verse we read, yanti deva vrata devan, pittin yanti pitivita, bhutani yanti bhutejya, yanti madhya jinopimam, right? We have read that before. So the beauty of this, and we see a reflection of that, right? Generally speaking, when a man falls in love with a girl, right? And we might just say, oh, ये तो इसने क्या कर लिया, इसको वो लड़की तो उसके सामने बिल्कुल ठीक जचती भी नहीं, क्या इसने क्या है? उसको लगता है? नहीं लगता. उसके लिए वो परी है ना?
Right.
परी है, क्योंकि उसकी आंखों में प्रेमांजुना चुरिता, उसकी आंखों में प्रेम का सुरमा लगा है. Ointment of love is there in the eye. Right? Similarly, devotional service is about love. So when the love is towards Vishnu, and a person reaches Vishnu planets, he thinks, मेरा हो गया. I have met my goal. उसका गोल था ही नहीं गोलोक वृंदावन जाने का. चाहे even though Golok Vrindavan might be higher, at a higher level, he does not wish to go there. He found his Vishnu, he is happy. Awe and reference में है, awe and reverence का relationship है कि Vishnu is great, he's huge, उससे डर के रहो, उसको 4 बजे खाना खिलाना है, 6 बजे खिलाना है, 12 बजे खिलाना है, 3 बजे खिलाना है, रात में सुलाना है, ये सब चीज अच्छी तरह से करनी है. वो भगवान है, राजा की तरह है, राइट? कुछ लोगों को होता है कि नहीं मुझे तो कृष्णा के साथ दोस्ती रखनी है, मुझे तो वो इतना अच्छा लगता है, तो फिर वो जाएगा और प्लैनेट्स में जाएगा, कृष्णा की तरफ जाएगा. तो वो your relationship with Krishna is already wired. When you were made, that relationship is already wired in you. So that is why some people will just go to Ram and they're happy. That is the beauty. That everybody is happy with their girlfriend. उनको दूसरी कोई भी दिखा दो ना वो पसंद नहीं आती, यही वाली पसंद है. ये है. इसी तरह कुछ भी दिखा दो, you show them Krishna, you show them Krishna. नहीं, मैं तो शिव का ही भक्त हूँ, मुझे शिव ही अच्छा लगता है. That's fine. But we know Shiva is a devotee of Krishna. We let Shiva take care of that. Who are we? Right? To do that.
But he does take care.
He does take care, yeah. They do take care. They're devotees, they will take care, yeah. All right, so on that happy notes, I'm really going to stop.
Thank you so much, Shraddha Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Take care.